Hi guys, welcome to another episode of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, movies about great things, terrible things, and all things bloody. I am Noah. With me forever is Ryan
Forever and ever
and
and ever
and
and ever.
Vince.
Forever, 100 years of good, the bad, and the ugly.
100,
Topical.
years.
I like that. Topical.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're already like 3 years in?
Time no longer means anything.
Yes.
I guess not. So, welcome to another edition of the Coroni edition.
Coronis.
To another
Wow.
episode of Vince's Mandate.
Yeah. All right. So, this movie this week.
Was
I
awesome.
mean,
You had an unpredictable, an uncommon negative reaction, which you don't usually have many of those, Noah.
I don't know. It didn't do it for me.
Really? Even
Yeah,
as like a decent rating on IMDb. I mean, that doesn't always mean anything, but it's like,
Meaning it only means it when you agree with it, or
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
It's fact.
yeah, yes and no. I mean, because there's been movies that have like a 5 rating, 5 point something, and I'm like, oh, this movie's awesome. It's just like, but I don't know. I was reading a lot of the reviews, and it kind of like unanimously says like, wow, this movie really surprised me. I wasn't expecting much, and I was like, and it was an awesome movie, and that's
Look,
how I felt about it. Maybe I was a little.
I'll simply put it, it's a really good idea, terrible execution.
I would go with that. Because, like when you're like, it surprised me, like, it surprised me too. I was expecting a much better movie.
Yeah, well, I think it suffered for the budget a bit, and it wasn't. Like you said, the idea is really cool, and then like kind of the ending, kind of just like ends like not like abruptly, but
It made me think of
it
They
starts
Live.
off really 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 good, and then
Yeah. Like I said, in a very similar fashion to They Live, where you have a really good idea and it has no ending, but They Live has so many set pieces that you really like stick in your mind and remember. Whereas this one, outside of the idea, there's no like real strong visuals or like set pieces outside like
there's a lot of cool
slug.
cars, and there's like some good.
The soundtrack was good.
Yeah. The roof scene with the hooker and the stripper and the like.
Stripper,
Yeah, no, it's weird because like on paper there's so much good. It has like one of the sleaziest 80 things I've ever seen, which is at the car dealership and cocaine in the little toy car.
Well, we'll get into it. But
we'll get into all of it.
That, but I was like,
let's tell people the movie. It's The Hidden from 1987. If you've never heard of it, don't feel bad. Neither have I.
I'd heard about it before. It was like kind of a cult thing, and there's a sequel.
Yeah, but don't watch the sequel. It's really bad. I heard. I didn't watch it, but unanimously people are like, yeah, steer away from the sequel at all costs. You don't need it in your life.
So to preface, you suggested this movie, Vince.
Yeah.
And you told us not to research what it is or like look up the plot or anything about it. You just told me that Kyle MacLachlan and Michael Nouri were in it.
Yeah.
And to go from there. So I really had no idea what to expect. Like I was really like, I don't know. I was anticipating something, or I was excited. I don't know.
Okay. Maybe I built it up a bit too much, but
you didn't say anything. You just said Kyle MacLachlan and Michael Nouri are in it.
No, because I had watched it, and then I watched the trailer after, and I felt like the trailer didn't give too much away, but I was like, oh, just go into this blind and be like, like, because when I saw it, I don't know, I was a little drunk when I watched it, but maybe that added to my experience, but I don't know, it just starts off like pretty strong. You're like, whoa, what's going on?
It does have a great opening.
Yeah. Okay. So right, it opens on security footage in a bank, and there's a guy robbing the bank. He's got a shotgun.
But it's not like
I can't remember.
It's not even like in the top 10 or top 5 of like great bank heists in movies, because he just walks in and just starts shooting. Like there's no finesse, there's no masks, there's no crew.
Yeah. It's just one solo dude and a shotgun, and it's enough to like subdue the bank guards. And then he smiles like right into the camera.
And it shoots the camera.
Yeah, and then he shoots the camera, that classic trope. And then the car chase begins because he's driving a Porsche, was it a Ferrari? I can't remember.
That was because they used, I think they used 4 of them.
Yeah.
Of the car. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a Porsche. I believe it was a Porsche.
Yeah, I think it
was a black. No, it was a Ferrari 308 GTB.
Yeah, the first one, the black one.
Yeah,
so
and they used.
Yeah.
They used 4 of them. They used one like for that looked good, nice, and then one was like beat up, and then one was like a shell of it. Like they just like made it look like that car, but it wasn't, so that they could actually destroy it or whatever.
Right.
Because at that time, like those cars were like the 80s, like the fast sports cars was still like kind of new. It was like a relatively new like kind of thing, so people were like, I remember that there was something with the director and someone asked him like, did you destroy that car, the Ferrari? He's like, we destroyed 4 Ferraris. And at that time that was kind of unheard of, but they really didn't actually destroy them.
No. But I mean, it was cool. Like it had the car chase in a hard punk rock, or it wasn't punk rock. It
was heavy like metal. Yeah, it was like heavy metal.
It was like 80s metal, just nondescript. Like it's not Pat Boone.
Yeah, it's harder than Pat
Boone. Nondescript, heavy.
No, I'm looking at the soundtrack, and it's all like people I've never heard of. The Truth, Lords of the New Church, Hunters and Collectors, Shock Paris, Concrete Blonde, Twin Set in the Pearls, Brian Gunbody, Yuli.
The Alien was really into the underground scene.
Thank you. The what?
The Alien was really into like the underground scene.
It must have been underground. It's underground.
He was a real hipster when it came to heavy metal.
Yeah. Well, I think he just liked everything in. They kind of explain that they just like everything to excess. They just like what feels good. So I guess at the time it was like in the 80s, it was like metal, cocaine, fast cars, fast women.
Let me know when we want to talk about the characterization of this alien, because I got some questions and comments.
Okay, yeah.
How smart is this thing?
Okay, so there's spoiler to everybody. There's aliens.
Yeah. Aliens.
All right, aliens. Right. So yeah, the car chase has all the good tropes. He hits a guy in a wheelchair for 20 points.
That was pretty good.
That shows that he's not fucking around. He doesn't care. He doesn't slow down. He just boom hits this crippled guy and like.
Yeah. He's got a nice head bob. Yeah.
Yeah, he's banging his head to music. The cops set up that roadblock, and everybody has a chance to cock their gun.
I love the editing though too. Like when he's in the car, like the music's blaring and then it cuts and then there's no music and then it cuts back. So it really adds like the tension to it too. Like
I thought it's a real really Fury Road.
Yeah, Fury Road style, exactly. And he just like bashes through the car blockade, and they shoot up, the cops shoot him, and his car just explodes, which I did like. I was like, oh, cool, this movie's gonna have explosions in it and car chases, bank robbers, like, fuck yeah, show me Kyle MacLachlan, and like, let's get this thing going on. And we find out at the hospital that this guy's been on a 2-week rampage, that he's just been killing people and robbing people, maiming, carjackings, whatever. And then the cops are pretty pissed that he's not dead.
Yeah. No, because the doctor's like, oh, well, da-da-da. And he's like, this guy killed 12 people. He stabbed them, da-da-da-da. And he's like, I could give a fuck less about him. And, the doctor's just kind of like, okay.
Okay, well, I still got to save his life.
Yeah, so much for the Hippocratic Oath.
Yeah, right. And same time, we see at the police station Kyle MacLachlan show up playing an FBI agent. So typecast, I guess.
This is pre Twin Peaks, and this movie actually has a lot of connections kind of to Twin Peaks, where like some of the same actors, and then also Kyle MacLachlan, he didn't want to get typecast, so he didn't appear in the Twin Peaks movie Fire Walk with Me, because he had already been cast as this, FBI agent who's kind of weird. He's a little eccentric. Yeah. We find out why later. And then
Kyle MacLachlan, an eccentric guy, like it was
not at all. And then he did Twin Peaks, and he kind of. So some people are like, "Oh, this is a prequel to Twin Peaks because he's kind of playing the same character."
I guess it kind of explains why, because not long after, when did Fire Walk with Me come out? Like 93, 94?
Yeah, I think it was.
It was a little bit later than that. No.
Because not long around there, that's when he did Showgirls.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which is like totally outside the character.
Fire Walk with Me was 92.
Really?
Okay, yeah. So.
Yeah, and Twin Peaks was 90, and there was 2 seasons of it.
There were 2 seasons.
Yeah. Yeah, we were talking about it yesterday.
Yeah, that's right. We were. We should do a Twin Peaks, start to finish kind of deal podcast.
Mm-hmm. Call on Peakin'.
Peak with us.
Yeah.
Kyle MacLachlan shows up and he pairs with the hotshot cop Michael Nouri, because that's what I think of when I think of hotshot cops.
He hates paperwork.
Yeah, so he's always passing it off to that guy who's like, "Come on, man, don't dump this shit on my desk."
Yeah, he's like the Butters of the police precinct.
That's a very good way to put it.
That guy was in so much 80s shit, that red-haired dude.
Yeah. Yeah, I felt like he always played like the dad of, somebody or...
Well, he used to be in this show I used to watch on PBS. I forget what it was. It was like, they were like math detectives or something. It was...
Check out some math detective shows.
Yeah. But a lot of actors were considered for that role.
What, the Butters of
no, not that. Not sorry.
Kyle MacLachlan's?
No, the
Michael Nouri.
The Beck, yeah. Tom. Where is it? Yeah. Tom Beck.
Yeah.
Like Bruce Willis was considered. Hold on, I have a list of the people.
Beck.
Yeah, bring it up.
My computer's being fucky right now.
Classic.
Okay, we'll come back to it.
Yeah, whatever. He'll still be there. So Kyle MacLachlan's really intent on finding this guy for unknown reasons. It just, I guess the FBI is involved, right? They don't need a reason. It's the FBI.
Mm-hmm.
And he's really adamant about making his way to find this guy as soon as he can, even though he's laid up in the hospital and chances are going to die before the end of the night. And that's when we come back to the hospital and we see, I don't know, do they have a name, this guy?
He did, because they kept bringing it up. But there's a lot of names in this movie.
Yeah, and none of them matter.
Lloyd Gallagher, special agent. Okay, but here's the list of people considered for Michael Nouri's part. He's a detective, I guess.
Yeah.
Mel Gibson, Harrison Ford,
better.
Kurt Russell,
much better.
Christopher Lambert, Michael Keaton, Richard Dreyfuss, Ron Perlman, Stephen Lang, Michael Bain, Dennis Quaid, Jeff Bridges, Nick Nolte, Gary Busey, Tommy Lee Jones, Richard Gere, Burt Reynolds, Don Johnson, Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Bruce Willis were considered to play Tom Beck.
Did they all turn it down?
I guess so, but that's basically everyone.
That's every
any
male
leading man,
star
and then you get Michael Nouri, who's like, I've seen him in stuff, but he's just like, he's not like.
Yeah, I've seen him in stuff. Exactly.
Like,
he's pretty. I don't know. For this movie, he's appropriately cast.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. He did a good job. Like.
Ryan, we'll talk about the alien scene right now, where the guy wakes up out of his coma and grabs the other guy in his room, the other guy in the hospital room.
Can we know that? Okay, first of all, I don't think maybe the doors were closed. There weren't any guards. Was he even handcuffed to his bed?
No, because they were like, he's in a coma. He's gonna die tonight. Fuck that.
Yeah.
No, we lost.
He's sharing a room with some poor schmuck.
You lost what?
We lost your visual.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I still see you.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Okay. Well, then it's on your end.
No.
All right. So yeah. So Ryan, please go ahead.
So all right. So he, for whatever reason, this like multiple mass killer who just went on this 2-week rampage, left alone in a bed in a room next to somebody who's comatose, gets up, not a care in the world, leans over, and what I think is the best scene in the movie, great work of practical effects, forces his roommate's mouth open, and this giant beetle slug thing crawls out and goes into this other dude's mouth.
Yeah, that was a pretty.
And it looked awesome.
Yeah.
It was a gruesome, like, it looked like I had to squint and like, oh.
Yeah, it's gross.
Really good practical effects. And apparently they had to get that shot really fast because they had made the face mold mask, but it was made from like it was made from something that was like, because it was really hot in there because of the lights.
Like a wax or something.
Yeah, so it started to like melt like right away. So they had to get the shot like boom, like they had to get it before it started to like, which kind of might have looked cool a bit if the thing started melting, but yeah.
But I guess that's not the way the movie's going.
Yeah, so basically, like to cut to the chase, there's this alien on Earth, and it just really loves being an asshole. Like it's not incredible. Its intelligence seems minimal, and it just seems to enjoy the human sensation of excess. Like it robs just because it's fun to do it.
It kills. It steals.
Like the robbery's weird. Like it does. Like it likes, but it also doesn't really seem to know what. Like sex seems like a new.
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't care about sex because we kind of find that out after.
Yeah.
It's strange because it kind of like goes by. It seems like very. It doesn't think things through. It's very like thinks of something then just does it. But then later on, it seems like as if it's planning on stuff.
Yeah, its intelligence kind of was all over the place.
But it's the interesting thing of like, yeah, you're hunting. You brought it up like Body Snatchers v. It's like Friday the 13th Part 9, where Jason's just hopping bodies.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kamagaki gets to the hospital. The dude's dead, and the other guy's gone. And they said it's impossible because he has like, what did they list wrong with him? It was like stomach.
He's like cancer? He needed like he was like he had like a heart disease. He was about to have like a triple bypass. Like basically he was like,
guy should not be up and walking around.
Yeah, like a walking heart attack basically. Like he's
comes into effect later.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the new guy is now walking around. Goes
played
to the record store.
William Boyett, who's I guess kind of a character actor. A lot of character actors in this movie.
Yeah, there was a lot of, hey, it's that guy.
Kyle MacLachlan covers it by being like, oh, they were partners.
Yeah.
Guys, they're like, well, whatever, my case, the Beck's like, well, all right, case is done, dude's dead, whatever. And then, new alien strolls into a record store, casually starts stealing stuff, and then just beats him to death. And he gets an adorable tiny gun.
Yeah, he gets the cutest little Derringer or whatever that was.
And McLaughlin's like, oh, yeah, they're partners.
Oh, and he steals a boombox, too, that only plays loud, heavy metal music. Or punk rock or whatever.
Yeah.
Loud music. He also steals a bit, too. And then he's at some diner, like, blaring music.
Integrate that where everybody head starts turning just as the camera gets to them.
Yeah.
Dolly shot.
They only heard the music like in order of progression of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it also becomes very clear around here that it's starting to become obvious that this thing picked the wrong host because the body's already giving some weird reactions when he's eating.
Yeah, he's like burping and like, and people.
Yeah, all this weird stomach problems.
And the way he's eating, he's just like.
It kind of reminded me a lot of what's his name, Vincent D'Onofrio.
D'Onofrio, Men in Black.
Oh yeah.
Men in Black.
Not nearly as good, but similar.
No, not nearly as good, but similar. The proto D'Onofrio.
Guys, Men in Black's so good.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to do that soon too, right?
Such a good movie.
And then he dine and dashes on the food to go chase a Ferrari or a Porsche on foot.
Yeah, but he sees the news is on, and he turns the music down because he sees this guy on TV who's like a presidential candidate or something. So that kind of sets.
Yeah, this was a
up.
weird plot point. Yeah.
Yeah, well, there was supposed to be more at the end, but they changed like the ending. But yeah, so then he sees the car go by and he's like, "Oh, I like that car." And then they're like, "Hey, you got to pay for that." And he just like walks out. And they're like, "Fucking asshole."
Yeah, it wasn't like the most passive aggressive. Like, just kept turning around, just casually stopped, slowly going to touch the door. It was like a cat.
Oh yeah, at the dealership.
Mm-hmm.
Where he finally makes it to the Ferrari dealership or whatever, and he
chases after the car, and then he's like, he starts like having like a heart attack. He's like, oh, he's like grabbing his chest and shit.
Yeah, and the two 80s like car guys, the businessman and the salesman, just like extra greasy, perfectly played by whoever was playing them. I don't know.
That white double-breasted suit.
Yeah, and he's like, "So you're gonna buy the car?" And he's like, "Of course I'm gonna buy the car. It's a Ferrari."
Do 100 in the city?
Yeah, in the city.
That was a weird bit of minutia. That seemed like 100. You can't go 100 in the city. Like, yeah, you can, man, with this thing.
Yeah.
Cool.
But yeah, you gotta drive like an asshole with that car.
Basically.
I do love when they send out like their bouncer to get rid of him.
Well, yeah, sorry. Proto D'Onofrio goes to like take the car. He's like, "Hey, buddy, back the fuck up. I'm buying this." He's like, "Yeah, but I want it.
I want this car."
Yeah, so they send out.
Like, okay, that's great. He's like, "Hey, buddy, I'm buying this car," or something like that. Like.
Yeah. Something like extra 80s. And I think that bouncer was just their mechanic or something. It's like some big black dude. So
yeah, well, they probably need some kind of I don't know,
security.
Yeah.
I guess so.
He probably doubles as like, they're like, okay, we need a guy for security, but he probably does something else. But who knows? Anyways, he's only in that one scene. But...
He's the accountant.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But I find it funny when
in the cast, that guy's listed sleazy cocaine sniffing Ferrari salesman.
That's an apt description.
So what's my motivation?
James Luisi.
James Greasy? What?
Luisi.
Oh, Luisi. Okay.
Yeah.
He's like, what? Girl, I was born to play.
He was in. He's best known. He was on Rockford.
Rockford
Files. Yeah. He was Lieutenant Doug Chapman.
I only watched like a handful of episodes.
Yeah.
Couldn't even tell you.
But yeah, when he shoots the dude, and then like he goes to like the like office in the back.
Yeah, so
like he knocks on the door. He waits to knock on the door, and he brings the guy with him, just so he can fall over once he gets to the office. Like the
I guess
black guy.
Yeah, the bouncer.
It's all about presentation.
Yeah, that was just for effect, you know. He's just like, boom, he falls in, and then he's just like, I want that car. Or is it, what did he say? Give me the keys or something?
Something like that. Well, yeah, so anyway.
I just signed the paperwork. Give him the goddamn keys.
The scene where they're signing the paperwork, where he's just doing blow out of a tiny little a Ferrari or whatever it was, a toy car.
Yeah, look, I've never bought a car, so I don't know how normal that is. Some good stuff.
It's protocol.
Yeah. Like if it was like a Volkswagen, it would be like in a little bug.
Yeah. Oh yeah, true. It's like in a little car.
Yeah, it's like in the trunk. It's like he's a regular John DeLorean.
Yep. So he steals the guy's keys and then kills them both anyways, which is weird. He like robs him and then shoots them.
Yeah. I think he just likes killing, you know.
Yeah. Then he goes to try and pick up a woman.
Yeah, two women.
Like it, so then he just goes that guy's work.
Yeah.
He's an import-exporter.
That was a. You don't see his face, but that was a cameo by Bob Shea, who was the head of New Line Cinema.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. He also has a cameo.
Sister Lin Shaye, known for the Conjuring movies, not Conjuring, Insidious movies, and There's Something About Mary.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The really tan.
There's also yeah, we're going to talk about later when it gets to it, the big cameo in this movie, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Big cameo.
I did brighten up when he showed up.
Yeah. Hey, hippie dude. What?
I was like, oh, Uncle Machete.
Yeah, Machete. Yeah, whatever. It's fine. Nobody cares.
I care.
Thank you for caring, Vince. See, that now you're the leader.
Caring is sharing.
That's right. So yeah, he goes to the guy's import-export location.
Well, we find out that he's like an arms dealer, that guy that he just killed. And he has like a fucking like warehouse of weapons.
Yeah.
So,
and he goes, and then there it is.
He just killed an arms dealer, like.
Yeah, no problem.
Also, he's like falling out of his host body, like his like arms coming out of it.
Oh yeah, his arm starts like falling apart and shit.
Like masking tapes it up.
Well, because it's trying to. I think it's it like the alien's trying to leave the body or whatever. It's pretty gnarly.
Hacking tape, but that was a cool scene. That was very like John Carpenter's Thing, or shit. What's the one I'm thinking of? I'm blanking on it. Something David Cronenberg. Whatever.
Yeah, it definitely
Existence.
Maybe.
It goes to the body horror. Yeah, man. Like if Carpenter directed this, holy crap.
Carpenter, yeah.
If this was like directed by somebody like John Carpenter, for sure it would have been. I would like it more. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, Vince, what else did this director do?
The director says of all of his films, this is his favorite.
What are all of his films? Or any of his films?
I know he's done a few things, but nothing really like that notable.
It'd be funny if this was like Brian De Palma.
Huh?
It'd be funny if this was like Brian De Palma.
Brian De Palma? Yeah, he could have.
Brian De Palma.
Ryan De Palma.
Yeah.
Ryan De Palma.
It's his brother. Okay, what did he do? 1201. I don't know if you guys remember that movie from '93 with Jonathan Silver and Martin Landau. It was kind of like a sci-fi Groundhog Day. Like each day he keeps waking up at like 12:01 and it's resetting, and there's like this woman that keeps getting killed and he has to like save her. He directed some episode of Tremors, the TV series. Wishmaster 2. He directed an episode of Mortal Kombat Conquest. He directed some episodes of Tales from the Crypt. He directed... Oh, yeah, this is what got him the job. He directed Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge.
Ooh.
Okay.
The gay one.
Yeah. Omen TV movie. He did a lot of TV movies.
Omen 4, yeah.
Yeah. Arachnid. Yeah, a lot of straight to...
yeah, I can see this being his favorite. This might also be my favorite of his work.
Yeah.
I don't know. Which episodes of Tales from the Crypt?
He did one episode. Fitting Punishment from 1990.
I'd have to watch the episode again.
Yeah.
Wow, whatever.
Are we at the family dinner scene?
Yeah, just about. So it's at the police station, and the police have gotten a flamethrower that I don't remember where they said it exactly. It's like we took
he's like, hey, look, we found
bit of foreshadowing I've seen since a Naked Gun movie.
Yeah, very Chekhov's flamethrower. So, and then Michael Nouri invites Kyle MacLachlan to dinner, and there was that weird scene where like Kyle MacLachlan's standing next to this other cop, and Nouri goes, "Hey man, you want to come to dinner?" And the other cop's like, "No, I'm busy. You know how it goes." And he's like, "No, not you, MacLachlan." He's like, "Oh, yes, humans eat dinner. I shall eat dinner with humans." Oh, we lose Ryan?
Ryan, yeah. No!
I guess it's just two-man show.
Yep, just me and you.
Just we'll make up for Ryan. You. All right, well, Ryan, I guess will join us
when he's
ready.
Comes back?
Yeah, I guess so. Well, it's a shame, too, because he wants to talk about the dinner scene, and it's now the dinner scene. Because MacLachlan was invited to dinner, and they go, and he has that. There's a lot of weird stares during this whole like.
Well, the daughter sees house. Something. There's that's a bit of foreshadowing because the daughter's like looking at him like weird, like she knows something's off.
Yeah.
Like she.
But even then, he was looking in the mirror too. He was like staring at him.
Oh yeah, he's touching his face. Yeah, but the other alien does that too.
Yeah.
Or like when he's looking at his face and he's like, also one thing that keeps happening was when the alien, when you see that they're enjoying themselves, they go like this, they do this weird like they stick their tongue out a bit.
I was wondering about that. I didn't pick up on why, just more of a
like when the guy's driving the car, Chris Mulkey, he goes like that. When the guy is walking down the street with the boombox, he does that too. He does a little
subtle.
So yeah,
subtle. Very good. So there's that's when at least I was like, I guess Kyle MacLachlan is also a bug alien.
Yeah. Monster. Well, because he seems to like know a lot about what's going on.
Yeah, more
that
than
he's kind of not saying. He's just like
FBI agent.
But also, like some of the things are like some of it's like weird, like the way he like proceeds with things or whatever.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like it's not like it's not like this doesn't seem like protocol or whatever. Like
yeah, he's kind of doing his own thing. And, which is also something I wonder too, because like he shows up driving a Porsche.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Hey, so I guess the FBI pays pretty well." And he's like, "Well, it's not that great." He's like, "Oh, so you just have a Porsche from where's he from? Like Seattle or something, or he claims to be from Seattle."
Yeah, he comes in for he came in from Washington State.
Washington State, that's right. Which hey, it might have been Twin Peaks.
Well, that's it, because then that's another link to Twin Peaks. There's a few. A bunch of the same, like Chris Mulkey, the guy, the first alien,
right,
with the glasses, and he was in Twin Peaks.
Oh yeah,
he was in late. Yeah, he later starred in it.
Ryan, is that you?
Yeah, sorry, I lost power on my computer.
No.
Oh, no problem. We've been stalling at this dinner scene.
Okay, yeah, well. There we go. Waiting to get my video going here.
Yeah, sure. We're just talking about more comparisons to Twin Peaks.
On.
Oh, there's that hand.
We're live.
There we go.
There he is. So yeah, tell us about this dinner scene.
I mean, it's just like kind of weird and awkward in the sense of like, so he staggeredly, they both drive up to the house. We talked about how his very rude dismissal of the first ADA from Law and Order is in fact not inviting him to dinner. They both pull up. He walks in. Kyle MacLachlan, he gets like really stabbed but stoic and looks at a picture of the little girl. MacLachlan's acting weirder and weirder throughout the whole thing, and you're like, oh no, he's clearly an alien.
Yeah. But we were just talking about that because he touches his face, just like the other guy did. He kind of like when he's looking in the mirror, he like touches his face and stuff.
Yeah, it's very like post Doctor Who regeneration. We get a nice little family scene with back in his wife and daughter, and then Kyle MacLachlan just like staring in the doorway like it's Paranormal Activity.
Yeah.
Like staring. We also brought up that MacLachlan's after this guy or this group of guys because he says they killed his partner
and his daughter. His...
Well, and then he brings up in this one that they also killed his wife and daughter.
Yeah.
Where he's like doesn't seem to know exactly how to eat properly or how to drink.
Yeah, I will have a PR.
Yeah, a human beer. I mean, beer.
Beer. The human expression.
Yeah, so then they're clearly like, okay, this guy's weird, but he's clearly like, and he was like weirdly staring at our daughter.
Yeah, and the daughter
she's weirdly
did not
staring
look
at him.
that.
Yeah.
She like
noticed. Well, there's a strange Kyle MacLachlan in my house. I'd be weirded out too.
Yeah, that's a scary thing for most.
But so like it's that weird like he's weird, but it's humble. It's like he's a regular Russ Cole from True Detective.
Yeah. Well.
Fair.
And then we switch to the alien has now gone to a strip club.
Yeah, well, he's done all the other bad stuff.
Yeah. But there's an APB out for that Porsche or Ferrari too.
Well, because he looks through some business cards, and then he's like, "Where to go?"
The coke dealer's or in the arms dealer's wallet that he stole.
Of course, he goes to strip clubs.
Yeah, to like an 80s strip club, which is always my favorite type of movie settings because it's like weirdly nostalgic to an era I've never been to. Where it always looks like both high class and cheap at the same time.
Yeah.
There's all that wood paneling, like neon lighting.
Style at the time.
And with a very polite bartender who was also like the chief in Rescue Me. Because the guy, his arms bleeding all over the fucking bar.
Yeah, that was so weird. Where like clearly there's blood on your bar, and he's like, "Hey, buddy, you okay? Get the fuck out of here!" It's like, "Oh, whoa, it's got to be friendly." Like that's when you'd be like, "Hey, I haven't served this guy any booze, and he's freaking out and bleeding everywhere."
Yeah, what a duffel bag full of heavily armed weapons.
Yeah, really.
So cops spot the horribly parked Porsche, sports car, and then while the alien is attacking, and then as we were obviously switching bodies to the stripper because he wants to be a female now.
Yep.
And then Kyle MacLachlan's having his first hangover, which hit him pretty fast.
Yeah, it was almost immediate, and he just had to pass out in everything he was wearing. But where was he? Because like Michael,
it was like their spare room.
Yeah, exactly. Because Nori was like just finished making love with his wife or whatever. Because he's sitting there, naked from the torso up with his
and he's like MacLachlan says he has an apartment, but like it's a single bedroom with a bathroom and a bed, but that's it.
Yeah, so I guess he had to sleep off that beer.
Yeah.
Drive home.
Tries eating a Alka-Seltzer.
Oh yeah, that looked really painful. I was like,
I kept expecting him to like drink the water after he puts the sip into it, and then it starts foaming in his mouth.
Yeah, I was expecting that too.
But yeah,
it does lead to a funny part later on where they give him the Tylenol. He just drops Tylenol into the water because I think that's how human pills are taken.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's a good way to take your Tylenol too, right?
Yeah.
If you want a Tylenol flavored water.
Sweet.
Yeah. Extra Tylenol, I guess.
Bitter goodness.
They know it's working.
Yeah.
So he leaves the bug leaves the club in the now stripper body.
With the most backless dress there can be.
Yeah. It was like down to ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the cops let her out because they're like, oh yeah, sure, whatever.
Just for a moment.
the thing with that was the Claudia Christian, the actor, Brenda the stripper. She really wanted this role, but the her chest wasn't big enough, so she kept like when she auditioned for it, she stuffed her bra and So, and then she finally got the role, and then when it came to these scenes and they found out that she wasn't actually stacked like that, the director was kind of mad. He wasn't mad that she was not, but he was just mad that she lied about it. He's like, because we could have done something, but now so they like made a dress to like kind of accentuate that, and that still didn't work. So then that's why she's wearing that dress where you like see half her ass. So they're okay, well we got to show something, Like,
shame on him because it's an actor and all they do is lie.
Yeah. But it's just because, like, in the script, like the stripper was apparently supposed to be Chesty McGee,
I guess, but it makes it look like at first I was like, okay, this thing doesn't know how to put on a dress.
Yeah.
But then I was looking at the dress and I was like, I don't see how that could ever be done and it not just look like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise,
it's not like he can like tie it up right. Also, it starts getting catcalled by these guys. One of them's wearing like a Porsche jacket.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you know he has a Porsche.
But he doesn't.
I know. That's why it was so good.
Which I love.
Yeah, because he's got the jacket
she can't get her old car back, so she's like, I'll go with him because she sees the jacket. Like, oh, he must have like a sports car.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
he's, he just has the jacket. He's saving up for the car, It's like, first you get the jacket, then you
layaway.
Yeah.
I paid off enough just for the jacket right now.
Then I get the beer cozy.
Yeah, and then the tire comes in, and
eventually I can get the sunglasses.
Then the hat,
Yeah.
Yeah, top to bottom.
Right? On a pick
Porsche or for it was that Lamborghini actually.
Yeah.
And then she's like, yeah, I'll go sleep with you, random gross guy, for your
I will
Lamborghini.
Do sex with you.
How do you think she killed him?
She fucked him to death.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, I've never been fucked to death either. So
did she Xena on top him? Because like he's on top of her.
Yeah.
And then it implies she does something. Like I don't know because there was no blood or anything.
I guess.
And it seemed like it was like
or maybe snapped his
neck. I think the door just opens and then the body falls out.
Falls out. Yeah.
Yeah. So
but you can hear him yelling. He's like, no.
Maybe it was something with the. I don't know. The alien came out and did something. I don't know. We don't see what happened.
Maybe, yeah. Because she doesn't switch bodies with him. And also, this guy's car is like a lime green piece of shit mobile.
Yeah, it's like a Pinto.
Yeah. So now she's driving the Pinto. And also, like, the cops are like, good Lord, there's like a pileup of bodies now.
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't believe, like, there's a dead body down the street from the strip club where there's also a dead body.
And Kyle MacLachlan is like, this is the woman too. She's also working with those guys.
Yeah, she's also in on it, even though
it was FBI.
Yeah, I'm FBI. And that's at that point too. Like Nori's trying to not quite believe him. Like, there are a lot of people.
This is an X-File.
Yeah.
He's the proto Mulder.
Yeah. Hey, why not?
I want to believe. Car chase?
Oh, yeah, that's right. They get sidetracked by her boobs.
The cop, the creature gets sidetracked, and then like the cops pull her over because they're like, look out for this woman.
Yeah, and
find her. She tries to seduce them for like a second.
Yeah, about half a second, and then immediately starts firing at them. And there was another car chase, which was cool.
Yeah.
Because Kyle MacLachlan and Nori are driving, chasing after, and Nori can't get a shot off, and he's like, "Come on, hold the car still, and just shoot the tire instead."
Yeah, MacLachlan's
why don't you do it?
Shooter, like just shoot where you're supposed to shoot it.
Yeah, exactly. So he's like, "Well, why don't you do it?" He's like, "Okay, grab the wheel." Beep. And TCT, right? And she crashes into like department store or something.
In a warehouse, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was some kind of a warehouse, but it had like display windows.
No, well, yeah, isn't there like mannequins?
Yeah.
It's like weird mannequins.
Warehouse or something. I remember seeing the name. I was like, I should have taken better notes.
Yeah, it was like a female name or something.
Yeah, no, there. I think there's something with that. There's like, it's like a reference to somebody or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it was something. And
Neptune Mannequins. The store Brenda, as the alien drove into, was called Neptune Mannequins. She also passes through a door that says Neptune, and finally. Okay, well that's giving stuff away.
It had the big neon sign, which I like.
Yeah.
Yeah, old school giant neon sign that they know.
Yeah. Apparently, mannequins are really expensive, and they found that out after they destroyed a few. Them. And then they're like, okay, well, let's just make a mold. And then they made their own mannequins to destroy because they realized how expensive mannequins were. And they're like, yeah.
Yeah, my friend of mine was looking for a mannequin prop, and like she couldn't find one. And then she saw like the perfect one, Ava B, and like, well, we can rent it to you for like $500 a day. Essentially, and she's like, nah.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
That's all good. So yeah, they're on the rooftop, and they have
Who knew mannequins are so expensive?
Yeah, I mean. Hey, somebody's got to make them, right? I'm sure it's a very niche market.
And that's a renewable resource, man. Those mannequins last for years.
Yeah, that's true. Yep.
They're different stores. There's the rooftop shootout.
Which is pretty cool. I love that like shotgun thing she has.
Yeah.
That gets one in the shoulder.
Yeah. Yeah. Nori gets one in the shoulder and flies off the edge of the building.
Brenda gets one pretty much almost everywhere.
Yeah, and is unfazed, no selling it completely.
Yeah.
Like, barely even a fly landing on her.
Yeah, Cornette would be incensed.
Well, apparently she got, when she was shooting off the blanks, one of the...
casings?
It's some material, like, exploded from the prop gun, and it scratched her cornea. So, after that, because she was in Babylon 5 after, and...
Oh yeah, she does look she did look familiar.
She had to like shoot guns in that, but they used prop guns that didn't like really fire. But she got like basically like PTSD after that accident. So anytime she would have to fire a gun and anything else, she'd always like look away. Like in any other movies or stuff that she did, because it it sucks.
You granted her a contract, she's like only sword fighting.
Yeah.
Beck.
So Beck is dangling off the edge, and Kyle MacLachlan saves him, and then pulls out this weird alien gun, which was just kind of like a one piece of metal formed to kind of look like a pistol shape.
Kind of looked like the cricket.
It did look like the noisy cricket.
But also it looked more like closer to a rabbit, and I don't mean the animal.
Yeah.
The noisy cricket.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyways, it's like this weird shaped kind of. It just kind of fits in the palm of your hand, and it has like. Yeah, it's a weird looking.
It's a weird
alien gun.
And then before MacLachlan has a chance to use it on her, she jumps over the edge of the building.
Yeah, well, that was the other thing when she goes.
It was like a Dale Gribble.
She goes through the sign. She jumps to her death through a sign that says Neptune.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And McColgan's got to run all the way down to get to it.
Yeah.
Is the alien from Neptune?
Maybe. And at that point, too, the chief of police or whoever that is
goes up in like his tracksuit.
Yeah, and his dog.
Pulls him out. Yeah, the dog gets out and he pulls a thing and it gets into the dog. Not a bad dog actor, I'll say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not as good as the dog.
Even the dog does the tongue thing.
Oh yeah, because the alien's always licking its lips.
They do this when they're like having fun. They're like
I like this. Don't forget to go back and watch our old episode of The Thing, our first episode. All the way in the archives. Do it. We need those views.
So yeah, MacLachlan, liar, tells Beck we got him. He didn't get him.
Yeah, no. And then there's a shifty-eyed dog scene which was just excellent. Where it like
no, yeah, he doesn't say we get him later because that's when Beck arrests McLaughlin because he's like, "You're suspicious."
Yes, there's a lot of coincidences.
I invited you to my house, and I think you're lying to me, and I'm offended.
Yeah, so let me arrest you real fast. And he doesn't even arrest him. He sends some underling to arrest him.
Yeah. He's like, oh, geez, sorry, man.
That's what I found was like weird. I'm just like, he's FBI. How is this regular cop just like arresting him now?
You could do that.
I know, you could, but it just seemed like kind of like, you know what? Fuck, lock this guy up. He's just
yeah, I'm sick of it.
Well, I mean, he was kind of in the right because he is impersonating an FBI agent.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, because that's right. Because the FBI sends a file over saying that nope, that guy's actually dead.
Yeah, so I'm like, I'm trying to figure it out. So, did the real Gallagher was the FBI agent, right?
Yeah.
So the real him and his friend Kyle McLaughlin went on a trip in the woods, possibly Brokeback Mountain style. Then there's a big forest fire. The real Gallagher dies, and Kyle McLaughlin becomes possessed by an alien.
Yeah, and
he
then
steals his identity,
impersonating him, Armin Tamzarian style.
Yeah. I'm just trying to figure out, like, there's like a chunk of, or like needlessly, it's like a weird wrinkle thrown in there.
Yeah, there's something missing. I feel like there must have been a scene or a flashback maybe.
Or like an extra thing, like why does he have to be his friend, or it's bizarre.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Well, we'll go into the real creepy body jumping at the end. Because he comes clean to Beck and he says like, yeah, well, you know, I'm an alien, I'm hunting an alien.
I'm an alien lawman, an extraterrestrial. Yeah. So did he purposely jump into another lawman?
A lawman.
But he didn't jump into a lawman. He jumped into his lawman's friend.
Yeah, who's now impersonating.
Okay,
lawman.
So he's like close enough. All right, this guy.
Yeah. Well, the other guy was dead, so he's like, I gotta take somebody's body.
Yeah, it's like if an alien jumped into me and like impersonated Noah because he needed to be a chef.
Yeah.
So then he tells him, he's like, yeah, I'm actually like, you know, pursuing this alien thrill killer.
Fugitive.
And they have the ability to take over human bodies. And he's like, okay, that's crazy.
And they confirm it's pretty much obvious at this point that like they don't survive the jump. Like once it goes into you, like even before you become riddled with bullets, like no, you're kind of like wiped out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
so that's kind of interesting. So.
It seems like an Outer Limits episode. Like I want to say I've seen like an episode like that. Like I said, it's a great concept. I think I've seen it similarly done before.
I think though this script was meant to be like a TV episode of something, and then they expanded it or something. If I'm not
3 times
mistaken.
As long.
Because it definitely has that Outer Limits ending. Which we'll get to the ending later on. So I'm really hung up on the ending of this movie. I think was it supposed to be sweet?
No.
I don't know.
Yeah.
No?
The ending.
It's like
the ending was
kind of. It's like a Black Mirror. Like I don't know if the director meant it to be as chilling as it is.
All right. So wait, before we go too far, when they arrested Kyle McLaughlin, they also took his alien sidearm, and they're like, "Give it to the lab; they'll figure it out."
Yeah.
Which I also know.
My lab, it's just in storage, and the guy starts playing around with it.
Yeah, and fires it. And it laser down the wall.
Yeah, but it doesn't affect humans, but it will affect walls.
Walls and aliens.
Yeah.
Just
but only
when
they're between hosts.
Yeah, because he can only kill it once it comes out.
Yeah.
It's like the demon fallen.
Yeah. Exactly. So yeah, I just wanted to make sure we got that part down. Because that plays an integral part later, where he can't use it on a human, and also when the whole precinct starts going crazy shit when
that was pretty awesome.
Blows up a wall, and the chief of police comes in. Oh, okay, so right, the chief of police is at home making some kind of a dinner or something, and the aliens kill the dog's body.
I like how the alien's checking itself out in the mirror as the dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you have kind of like a POV. Does it do that? The dog walking or something?
Yeah, it busts through the wall.
Maybe. Yeah, he jumps through the door, which great work on that dog actor. and headbutt the chief of police, who headbutts the fridge and falls unconscious. And then the alien changes bodies again to the chief of police, or whoever that guy is, the sergeant,
lieutenant.
Yeah,
Masterson. Yeah,
whoever's title.
He's but yeah. Then there's a Terminator 1 style.
Yeah,
Friggin' police station.
Then he runs into the representatives of the senator on his way in there.
He's like, hey, I thought you were off today. Don't forget, the senator's having the thing. He's like, where is the
I have work to do.
He's like, yeah, our chief of police never stops. And then, yeah, he just rampaged through the police station. And everyone's like, hey, I thought you were on your day off. Bang.
Yeah,
dead.
Yeah, and I think
he didn't go very far with his undercoverness.
Yeah, he could have gone all the way in there and killed the prisoner, but instead just like shoot the first guy who looked at him.
Again, it's
but
not
that's why
smart.
they don't think really. They're very impulsive. They just do.
But it's strategic in its later on in its final host it takes.
Yeah.
That's why it's weird. Because he's also like, we could take over this planet. I'm like, do you want to take over the planet?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. What do you get from that?
You don't even have a name, man.
Yeah. So.
Well, we find out the alien's name, no?
Yeah, we find McLaughlin's name because Beck finally is like, I guess, screw it, this is real.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, exactly. Like, because then everybody's like, oh, here the chief's gone crazy.
Yeah.
Like Al Haig, that's the
something like that.
And then, but he says he's from the planet something or the race of aliens or something. They're like the.
He's from
whatever. Yeah.
Up
north.
And twirling towards the future.
But yeah, so the chief of police takes Michael Norrie hostage, and then we see the biggest cameo of the entire movie. Who wants to do it?
Yeah, well, because Michael Norrie Beck gets out. He runs down. He gets the alien weapon, and he takes another cop's weapon.
Yeah.
Sidearm. To give your sidearm. This is when he goes full like Riggs. Gary Busey.
Yeah, he shakes down the guy for his gun.
Shakes down a guy for a sidearm. He goes down to Holdings. He threatens them to let him in.
Yeah.
Goes to McLaughlin. He's like, all right, I guess I believe you now. Here's your alien gun. Chief comes down, demands the same thing, and the guy's like, oh, come on, man. It's a Chief. And then he throws a grenade at them.
Yeah.
Opens the door, and then like everyone's commotion, and then all of a sudden, Danny Trejo's there.
And he yells, yo, hippie, what kind of dude are you?
And then he just gets shot. It lasts like 10 seconds. And I was like,
yo, hippie, what kind of dude are you? I was like,
yeah.
This has been like one of his
surprise.
That was probably one of his
first. This was his first speaking role in a film.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
But yeah, I'm always surprised. You throw Danny Trejo in a movie, it's always better.
Mm-hmm.
Automatically.
Yeah. It increases your movie at least 4 points.
Yeah. The worst part about Anaconda is he dies in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah. And then we find out the bug has jumped again in this kerfuffle.
Yeah.
To the was it Beck's former
other partner? Yeah, one of the
his underling.
It's Officer Butters at first, and he's almost let down that he can't just shoot him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, oh man, I wanted to kill you.
And then
Cliff Willis, detective, played by Ed O'Ross.
There it is.
And now I guess the alien's plan at this point is like, if I can jump into the senator, I'm less likely to just be shot down.
I thought he was there to kill the senator.
I think that's what they thought, because like, why would this thing want to kill the senator? I think it's strategic. If I jump into the senator, now I got all these people protecting me.
I thought they were trying to kill the senator. He's like, chaos, whatever. What, this guy's in charge? Kill him then. Fuck it.
Yeah, but they say it's the only meaning because he's like, yeah, I'll be president. Fuck it. And I really wanted an alien speech in his monosyllabic thing.
Well, I was mad to be president.
Also, Beck gets two
that's
to
right.
the gut.
He does say that.
I want to be president. He just says.
Yeah, and everyone's like, "All right, he's running."
This supposedly incredibly charismatic senator.
Yeah, that's probably the most charismatic senator out there.
Yeah, Beck gets two to the gut.
Yeah, he takes one. And
because he's like, he doesn't want to shoot his partner. He like runs out of bullets, and then he goes like that, and then he gets shot. And then...
Yeah. And then the press conference, the senator's like, "I want to be president." And we're like, "All right, vote for this guy."
McLaughlin just runs in with a bag, and everyone starts shooting him, and he just busts out the flamethrower.
Yeah, torches Senator Bug.
And then like they all just surround him and point their guns at McLaughlin. Yeah. And they just pose. And then the alien comes out and he blows up the alien.
And he zaps him with the gun, with the alien gun.
Well, yeah, he like fucking flamethrowers him down, just like.
Yeah, he avenges his loved ones.
Or his partner.
Yeah, or both. Yeah, everybody. He avenges everybody. Now the ending.
Yeah.
I gotta get into this ending.
Okay.
Beck's in the hospital. He's not gonna make it. His wife is distraught. The daughter gives the typical, "Was Daddy coming home?" And
also, I just wanted to point out, because like he's in the hospital now because he took a shot to the stomach. Let's not forget, he got shot in the shoulder earlier in the movie, and
he shrugs that off real fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're like, "Hey, you got shot earlier. Are you okay? Fine, go home."
Flesh wound.
Yeah. So okay, I just wanted to make sure that we spoke that he had 2 bullets in him.
Yeah. So yeah, he across the hall is blocked. Again, no guards. Even though this guy it's on record that he impersonated an FBI agent. And he isn't culpable essentially murders because since he's not a cop, he's involved shooting all these people, and he just torched because no one's gonna be like, yeah. Then this bug came out, like, look, man, throw a guard on him at least.
Yeah.
So as they walk away, he sneaks into Beck's room, and Beck flatlines.
Yeah, in the room.
And then McLaughlin opens up his mouth, and you're like, oh, is he gonna bug him? But no, he's like an alien made of light, and he passes his life force into. He doesn't heal him. He jumps bodies.
Yeah.
From McLaughlin to Beck. So
or his
Beck's
life force. That like.
Yeah. Yeah, like his energy, because he's a good alien, so he's not ugly.
Yeah, exactly.
And then the wife and doctor come in, they freak out because there's a dead man on the floor. But then oh no, Beck's alive! Yay, he's gonna make it! And the daughter, they reminisce on that creepy stare the daughter gives him.
Yeah, because she realizes that something's just like how she looked at Kyle MacLachlan's character. Now she's looking at her dad like that because she knows something.
It is a weird he clearly did it because it's something I like because it is an alien thing of but I'm not gonna have them go through the pain of losing their father, so I'll just impersonate him.
But now is he gonna be a weird, lifeless dad now?
Yeah, he's just a weirdo. You're he's just taking over this guy's life, and he doesn't even know how barely anything works. I mean, he knows how stealing a car works.
Yeah, but
he also steals a car. He also steals a fast sports car.
Yeah.
So it's it's this really weird, chilling, what? And then credits.
Yeah.
Yeah, it ends with them holding Nori holding his daughter's hand. That's not an ending.
I mean, it is an ending, but it's a weird one. It's a weird tonal ending, or wait, what?
Is it a good bad ending or a bad ending? It's an ending. It's enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the original ending was supposed to be the they go to the he gets into the senator, and then the senator gets away.
Okay.
And he's the alien, and it kind of just ends like that on a cliffhanger, oh, he's
Well, that's cool too. That should have been the ending.
Yeah.
I like this one better because this one's even weirder. The other one's I've kind of seen before. This one first of all, you got to see a man torched, which is awesome.
Always cool. Always good.
And he blows up that bug, and I just want to think everybody be they all saw that. And like, what the fuck was that? The senator, Kyle MacLachlan busted in, torched a man in his portable flamethrower, and then a giant bug came out and he shot it with a ray gun that blew up. And we all saw that.
Yeah, that's not. I'd like to see the Men in Black kind of wipe everyone's mind with that.
Especially there's no cameras it's just gonna be collective like denial. Everyone's gonna be like, "What a weird day that was." Yeah, let's just not talk about it.
There was some kind of gas. You imagine it.
Oh, but yeah, I like this weird. I can't. It's such an odd ending, which I like. I like that one more because I can't. It's weird.
This reminded me of a very watered down and not at all like the movie Repo
Man. Repo Man? Well, yeah, I was gonna say they came around the same time. That weird kind of dark humor, sci-fi kind of action movie.
Yeah.
Like
with like a punk rock soundtrack.
Repo Man's really kind of like switches tones because the first time I saw it, I was like, okay, it's like kind of like
Repo Man.
Yeah, and then it's just like, and then it just switches, and I'm just like, whoa, okay, what is this, an alien movie? And it's like, yeah,
like Dusk Till Dawn style, where it's like bank robbers to vampires.
Yeah.
By the way, guys, go back and watch that old episode. We need those
for more Danny Trejo goodness.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, a lot more Danny Trejo.
Yeah, considerably more, like 15 times more Trejo than in this movie.
I think he's in all of them, actually. All the Dusk Till Dawns.
I think he meant all our episodes.
Yeah, I was like, I hope so.
Danny Trejo.
We should just change it to the good, the bad, and the ugly, and Danny Trejo.
The Trejo. Well, he is all three of those things.
Yeah, he's played them all.
So
you know what? Anybody out there who knows Danny Trejo, please ask him to come to our podcast. Like, I don't know what it'll take, but I'll do it.
Trace Treos.
Yeah, hashtag Trejo on GBU. Guys, make that trend.
Yeah.
Make it happen.
Okay, so
Noah, thoughts?
Thoughts? Well, I didn't like it.
This saddens me.
It's like Ryan said, there was a great idea, but a terrible execution.
I wouldn't go so far as to say terrible.
Maybe not terrible, but
disappointing.
There was just so many elements in there that
I know. I had a lot going for it, and
like in the hands of like a John Carpenter, like we said before, it could have been really good, or if this had been like even traumatized up.
Yeah, but when you
it felt kind of directionless.
When you listed all the other Hollywood leading actors who did not take this role, yes, because any one of them would have immediately brought the stock of this movie up.
Apparently, they changed the script a lot, and the writer wanted to have his name taken off of it. He really didn't like how they did it, how they changed things in the script, and he was just like, "What the fuck, man? You keep changing my fucking movie, like."
Yeah, I can see the thing of too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah, just like a lack of a single vision, but
I don't know. It kind of had like a taxi driver element with the senator, and it had like a Terminator thing. This guy was just nonstop hunting, and the body snatchers, and like I said, like Repo Man type of thing. And like I feel like there's too many elements, and none of them are the good aspects.
Ooh. Okay, so here's this. Director Jack Shoulder was drawn to the film because of the script. Writer Jim Koof had originally expressed interest to direct the movie, but when the studios said no, he lost interest in the script. Shoulder, who saw the potential to turn it into more than an action film, did a rewrite to heighten the themes of what it means to be a human. Casting for the film was difficult. They used auditions and could not cast Agent Gallagher until several days before shooting began. Shoulder later called MacLachlan an inspired choice, though he clashed with Nuri on set. Nuri and MacLachlan both liked the script and during auditions agreed to do the film if the other was involved.
That's professional.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, okay, so.
Because I think the director had seen Kyle MacLachlan in Dune, and like really, and which was directed by.
I've seen him ride a worm. Now I want to see him hunt a worm.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyways, that's my feelings on it. But guys, I'd love to hear yours because clearly you had a better opinion than me.
I don't know. I loved it. I was really surprised. I didn't expect, but like, I'm part of like some Facebook like movie groups and like exploitation stuff like that. And some guy posted, he's like, "Oh, I just got my Blu-ray of this," and then I remembered the cover from when I was a kid, and I was like, "Oh man, I always seen this." And then what?
I guess you like the original cover because like the reissue DVDs is always like that blue one with like MacLachlan and like Nori on the cover, like posing with their guns. But like the original like
the guy, his
poster one is like that weird film. Like it looks almost like Manhunter.
Yeah.
Like the OG one looks creepy.
No, the original one is with the blue, like the guy's. It's Edo Ross.
Yeah, I said it looks like Manhunter or something.
Yeah, so that was the original. I used to see that in the video store. Like I remember, but it didn't. I don't know. I just like I'd always see it, but it didn't do it. So I was like kind of intrigued, and then. People were just like, "Oh my god, I love this movie. It's a fucking underrated classic." I'm just like, "Let me check this out," and I did, and I was like, "Oh wow, this movie is pretty awesome." And I'm like, "We got to do this for, the next episode if you guys agree." And here we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, it reminded me a bit of Fallen, just with the idea of like you're hunting a killer who can't be like tracked.
Yeah.
Right.
Constantly jumping, but like I wish if it had been that with like a bit more of the 80s excess, which you see hints of that. It's almost like this weird metaphor because the 80s more, and that's what the alien wants. But it felt like I said, just the multiple script changes really feel it. Like I feel if it had been like a really tight like passion project of like a strong director with like singular vision with the people. I would have enjoyed it way more. Aside from that, there's a few good set pieces, but I don't think it flows as a movie. The pacing is just awful. Like it just feels like things just kind of happen, and like the score it has like a nothing score to me. And I wish it'd been weirder.
It could have been weirder. It should have been weirder. If they were going to go in like a weird direction, they should have gone with it.
Like, which I think is also budgetary because I think they put all their money into like the one time you see the alien, and then at the end where they're like, okay, well we got to show it again with the burning body. Like they always you never see a jump really after that point.
Half the budget was on the cars they used.
All of it.
Yeah. But yeah, that
was one thing I saw.
I didn't hate it, but I was kind of let down by it.
I saw a review of it, and one guy was like, "Yeah, it starts off really cool, and then the ending." He's like, you think there's going to be like another kind of like climactic like thing, but then there's just like a bunch of shootouts. Like there's just like a lot of shooting, which was cool and like some good squib stuff, but they're just like, It's just shooting. They're just shooting the alien more. Like they already had that, like with the scene with the
police station or every time you see the alien, he just gets shot a lot.
Yeah.
And the alien itself isn't interesting. Like, it doesn't have a personality. I mean, we're talking about Vincent D'Onofrio. Like, Vincent D'Onofrio, aside from his physical performance in Men in Black, that character has such, like, a distinct personality to it.
Yeah.
Whereas this one, it's like, it likes the excess, but I guess it just feels like it's kind of mindless. Like, there's nothing distinctive about this creature.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he doesn't even have like a speech about how awesome it is to just like enjoy human sensations and not care.
And there's also that he's like, we could take over this planet if we want. It's just like, okay, so what's what do you here for?
The exact opposite of what you would want to do. Like,
yeah.
So like I said, it just feels like I felt like I said. I'm repeating myself. I felt the multiple script changes. I felt the lack of direction. I felt all these ideas, but not enough to really hone in on them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it's a fun 80s like thing of like, oh, Hidden, yeah, I've seen it, but I can't say I'd recommend it to people.
I don't think I could either.
I would still.
Okay, so guys, let's hear those reviews. Good, bad, ugly, all mixed.
Actually, it's good. I like it.
You know what, man? I'll go for ugly. Based purely on like when it does go body horror, it's good.
Yeah.
And it is also just an ugly looking film.
All right.
It's just a lot of gray, a lot of flat grays.
Yeah, very, very bland. And I guess I'm gonna go bad. So one of each.
Yeah. Is that the first time we've? Yeah, that's.
I think we've done it before. We've had Paulson before.
I guess I'll have to go back and listen to every single episode just so we find out if this is the first time. How do we end this? Okay, so guys, send us emails, gbupodcast@gmail.com. I'm not actually going to buy a site domain, so Gmail it. You know, requests, comments, hate mail, math homework. I'll write up a business plan, but I'm not be very good at it. I don't know. Facebook, YouTube, because this is probably where you're watching it. And not Twitter.
All the other fun stuff. See you out there.
Yeah.
Keeping the park safe.
And I don't know if they have anything coming up.
Yeah, I got a show coming up. I mean, fuck nothing, is we're still at COVID. I'm stuck inside.
Can't help it. Okay, so I guess unless anything else, take it easy, guys. Catch you next time.
Take care of yourself, boys.
Peace.
And gals.
Stay hidden.